Olaya.
Olaya. Okay. Olaya.
Pronounced in a way that be pronouncing.
That's so you go do, bite your tongue.
Mr. Olaya.
Good evening, everyone. I'm around.
I want to open, there's an image I want to download so that we can use it to study tables and know what we are doing. Okay, I'm downloading the image that will actually know what we are doing if we are doing something, not that we'll just be doing. Okay. Okay, I believe everybody can see my screen. Now, this is a table.
Okay.
This is a table. Now, we all know that the horizontal lines are rows,
Table rows.
while the vertical ones are columns. Now, if we are designing HTML form, you are designing a table using HTML, we have to be specific about the rows. The rows, we need to be specific about the rows. So HTML basically creates its table using rows. It creates its table using first row, and the first row may be a header, a table head. That's why it's bold like this. Second row may just be the normal table elements, which are called table data. So it doesn't really create, HTML doesn't really create its table in columns like this: column 1, column 2, column 3, column 4. It mostly creates it in rows. So it's just be specific about it. Let me open a new folder, or let me get a new folder on desktop, and obedience, JavaScript, CSS, admin, others. Let me create something here like tables. The HTML tables. Open. More. Okay. So I'm going to create my file here. Let me just call it table1.html. Table1.html. My file is there, and I'll create a starter template now. Fine. Let me call it table1 too. Table1. Yes.
Okay, sorry. You did not create your folder from the desktop now.
I created my folder
from VS Code.
Yes. It's not really from VS Code. If you try to open a folder from VS Code, for example, open folder, it's going to tell you which folder do you want to open. And on this terminal, this place where you see a folder you want to open, if it's on Windows, around here you see something like new folder around here. But here, this is mine. I want to get a table in HTML. Should I record this class?
Yes, please.
Yeah, record the class, sir.
Okay, so this is a table, and in HTML, if we want to start a table, we must use the table tag, just like form. We must use the table tag, open and close like this. Then HTML renders its table in rows. It tries to render the table in rows. So you have first row, second row, third row, fourth row, fifth row. It doesn't render it in columns like column, first column, second column. No, you have to do it everything in rows. So this first row is called the table head. Table head. This is the table head. Why this is the table body. And all of these, each of these are table data. Okay. Now, since HTML creates its table in rows, how many rows do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's recreate this table. since we have 5 rows, we have to have TR, that's table row for TR, times 5. Times 5. This is a short for saying table row times 5. So you're going to create table row times 5. Now you can see I'm not looking at table column. There's nothing like table column. Everything is row. So long as anyhow you are creating it, it should come in rows. So if this is the first row, which matches this, that means we are trying to say this row should be our table head, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, this row should be our table head because it's the first row, as this is the table head. So table head in HTML is denoted using CH. CH, all the cells now, these cells, this, and this. To get these values inside, we now use a tag called CH, short for table head. So this first table head will get the number. That's the first table head. And the second table head, we have how many table heads do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4.
4.
So I can just say CH times 3. Sorry, CH times 3 to get the remaining 3. So the second value we are having for, you see, we are rendering everything in rows, row by row, row by row. We don't go column wise. Number, full name. The next one is position, and the next one is salary. So this is the first row, which is this. We don't go column wise. A row stands for one row as it is. So I'm going to save this and view it on our browser. So let's see what happens actually. So you can see number, full name, position, and salary is going row wise, not column wise. Okay, now the next row, which will be under here, is having something different. Number, let's say number 1. No, this is a table row, sorry. Then to get those data inside, for example, to get the table heads inside, all the elements inside is table head. So if you come to the body of the table, to get those data inside is table data, TD. Table data. So we need how many do we need? We also need 4 because one will be here, another one will be here, another one will be here, another one will be here. So we need 4. We can just say TD times 4 to get 4 of it. So you see, let me give a space here. You see this second table row has 4 table data, and the table data will also come as a row like this. It's not coming down. Everything is going like this. So the first one, let's say number is 1, and first name, full name is Terence Onye. Position, because it's coming like this, so we are going like this too. Position is IT. Let me see. Position is front end engineer, and the last one is salary.
Senior. Are you senior or junior front end?
I'm junior. 2000. See what I've done for this. First, the number is 1. Full name Terence Onye. Position this and this. So you see it's going from left to right. So what I'll do is I'll just save this now, and you see it appears the same how we wanted it. Now if we need another table data, that's another row, we still replicate this. For example, let me just copy this table data inside the TR and put inside the second row, the other row, sorry, the third row. Look at, I just pasted this, and let me save, Control S. See how it appears. So I can easily just modify this. This is 2, and this can be maybe mayor T, and this can be back-end engineer, and the salary of this can be 3,000. Undo 3,000 and save. See how it's taking its place. So I'm going to do the same thing for the remaining ones. Control C. I'll paste it here. Let me give it a space. And I paste it there. If I save, it comes under. And the last one, I paste it there. So if you look at it very well, what we need to know is once we have our table, let me close it. Once we have our table, to create a table, the next thing we are going to have inside is table row. Table row like this. So let me close this. Look at it. Table row. Table row. Once you have your table, make sure you are having table row. And inside the table row, if you want the first table row to become a distinct, to have a distinct value, like maybe the head. Like for example, you see the head is bolded. It's thicker. You can now use TH for table head, as it sounds. TH table head. So the other values for the normal table row just have table data TD, and don't forget it's an HTML element, so it's going to have an opening and a closing tag for all the rows. So if you have thousands of rows here, it still flows the same like this. You can just copy all of this and paste, copy paste. So can just basically change our information here. Maybe put I want to put full stack here. Full stack. So I'm just trying to edit the information so that we'll have something nice for and this can be, let me say, UX/UI designer, and the salary of this can be 1,000. Okay, I'm going to save now. So you see everything has taken place. Now I want us to give border. To our table. Now I want us to give these things one by one. I'm not going to create a different CSS file because I want us to work on this file so that we can actually see how the changes are. So let me create a style sheet, a style tag here, so we can put our CSS here. Now let me go to table. Remember, it's not a class, so I don't need to put a dot. Table border. While you're putting a border, let me use 2 pixel solid. Save. I'm not using solid black or solid any color because I know it's going to take the default color, which is like this color. So now look at what I did. Table, I'm putting a border. Now you can see that table is just everything. No matter how long it is, table is everything. It's putting a border around that table. Fine. Let me put a border for TR. For TR, that's table row. Table row is going to put a border for each of the table rows. So let's see how it works. Border 2 pixel. I'm doing it one by one, but I want us to see how it works so that we can actually remove other values. Yeah. If you want to put a border for each of these values, now use CD. And now you can see TD because we are putting a border for each of the table data. Now, if we need border for each of these values too, remember this is TH, not TD. That's why it doesn't have a border on its own. So we can still use this same value and use here TH and give it that same border. That means TH, we're giving it border of 2 pixels and solid. Let me add something here so that we will not look confused. Let me say solid black. But if some people just say solid, they'll be wondering, solid what? Black and black. Okay, so you can see. Now, you can see that all these two, for example, these two now are the same. They have the same values. Let me comment out this and save. Now see table head now has the border. Just to tell you that TH is for table head, so it's for the elements of the table head. So I'm going to undo my comment. Now these two have the same values. So in short, we can just use a comma here and put TH. Then remove this one. So this is telling us that TD, TH will all have this. Both TD and TH will have this, rather than writing it again for TH. So if I save, you see nothing changes. Also, this and this also have the same value. So we can still do the same thing here and say table, comma, TD and TH. Everything should have the same value. So you see, I've saved, nothing changes because I'm telling my code that for table, TD and TH, give them this border. If I remove table here and save, the border that surrounds the table will leave. I'll put it back. Now we have double borders. The borders are double, but we don't want it this way. We just want one border. So anywhere you have two borders beside each other, you can just use border collapse. There's one value called border collapse. Let's see, border
collapse.
And collapse.
Collapse.
Collapse and save. So border collapse simply collapses the borders. It folds them. Let's say it combines them. That's what it does. Border collapse combines them. So now it's now like a normal table. So what we can do is for each of these, you can just maybe let's add some padding or let's give it width for each of these CD and TR. You can give it a width. TD and TH. Or let's just give the TR a width. TR, which is the table row, now it's very short, so you can just give it a width of, I want it to be bigger so that if we want to do something, we'll see how it works, of 700 pixels and save. Width of 700 pixels. This is supposed to be the table. Sorry, table. I'm supposed to give the table 700 pixels because we're dealing with all the tables.
Can you hear me, please?
What are you saying?
I just want to quickly ask you a question. I don't know if I can.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I noticed whenever Mr. Skyline is using width or is giving dimension to width, he normally uses percentage. So from your own end, is it advisable to use percentage or px?
Okay, now you cannot say which one is advisable, but the thing is there are places where you need to use percentage, there are places where you need to use pixels. For example, Let me give you a good example. I will have to jump out of this table to give that example. Let me get a button here. For example, this is out of table, but let me get a button here. And I give it button. No, let me just give it click and save. You see my button is here, and I want to give it. Let me style it. Let me come here and style it with button. I want you to see the difference now. Button width of 50. Let me give you width of 10%, and I'm going to give it click. I want to write on to click me to open view. I know why I'm doing all of this. Okay. Button 11%. Okay, that's fine. You see what I want to do now? BR. Okay, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Now you see what I've done. This is a button, and the only thing I've done is I've given it a width of 11%. Now see what happens if I make my screen smaller. Percentage works with the percentage of your screen. So if my screen is maybe kind of small, the button will still take 11% of my current screen size. For example, I've reduced it now. It's taking 11% of my browser size. Do you understand?
Sure. I'm with you.
And this is not what you want. You don't want your button to be folding like this, depending on your browser size. You don't want that. So what you do in this case is you just find pixel now is a stable value. For example, I give it 150 pixel. The stable value, no matter the screen size, is going to remain 150 pixel. Or let me make it 200 pixel so that you actually see 200 pixel. You see the way it's increasing, right? At this size, it's always going to remain this size, even if I reduce my screen size or you understand, it's always going to remain this size. If I make it 150 pixel, for example, it's always going to remain this size. It's not going to change. For percentage, according to percentage of your browser. So if I'm increasing my browser size, a percentage should be taking 10% of the current browser size at every point in time. But pixel is just stable. I don't know if you understand now.
Of course I do. I don't understand.
What?
Thank you very much. Yeah, I do now. I understand better now. Thank you.
Okay. So I'm going to remove this button. So there are places you should use percentage, there are places you should not use percentage. Okay, I've removed that. So for this now, I think I use. Okay, where was I? Where was I?
You finished explaining to
You
Mr.
just
Ishmael. So you're just saying that
I finished explaining that side.
you added a pixel to the width of the table.
Okay. Now I think on my end.
Lawrence.
Yes. You are saying something.
Okay, Mr. Torrance, in addition to what you explained to Mr. Olaya as regards pixel and percentage, when it comes to mobile responsiveness of an application, we were taught, according to Skyline, that percentage gives a better, more dimension website than pixel. Is more responsive in terms of responsive website than using pixel.
Okay, that means you did not understand what I'm saying. Now, if you are dealing with responsiveness and you maybe put your button to percentage, that means when you go to mobile screen size, your button will now shrink according to that mobile size. So what you are going to do in that case is put a minimum width and a width. Minimum width means it's not at, even if it's going to get smaller, it's not going to get smaller than this amount, this number, and that minimum width should be in pixels. So the only thing is,
okay.
there are some things that are not meant to shrink, and those things which are not meant to shrink, leave them in pixels. For example,
Oh, all right, I get you.
I've given the button as an example. There are other things when if you're coding like this thing, this table now, I use pixels. See how it's going to disrupt my website. So I think I've changed it to percentage. Let me save this. Okay, let me make it smaller. See how it's disrupting my website. Because I'm using pixel, it's not shrinking. So if I use maybe 70% now, it's going to be at every point in time, it's going to be 70% of my screen, no matter the screen size I have.
All right.
20%. And save.
I get your point.
So you see, it's 20%. And it's still the same like using viewpoint width. Still going to be maybe 70 viewpoint width. It's going to be 70% of your screen, because your viewpoint width is your screen size. I mean your browser size. So
I done.
Oh yeah, we're done with that. Okay. So we are back here. Now let's try to style our table. We're finished with creating the table. Let's try to style it. Normally, what they used to do is most often is this header now will have a color different from every other thing here. So if we want this first row, remember we create tables in rows. We want this first row to have a header, maybe you have a background color of maybe Rebecca blue and a text color of white. Remember, we have this row defined as th. We have this row defined as th. So let's see if we can use th to style that row. If we say, for example, th background color of Rebecca blue, Rebecca purple, and save. Now see, because this is the only th we have. But had it been we use td instead, td, and save, all the tds, because we have so many tds, all of these are tds, but these are th. So all of this will change. So now let's make it look good. ch, which is the table head, background color of Rebecca purple, and the color of white. And now you can style it like any other text, you can give it font size, you can align anything, like anything you can do to it. Now this is our table body. What we want to do is, let's make this body, let's make these other rows, maybe this is this is a table row. So if you want to use odd and even to style it, that's want to style this differently from this, and this different from this different from this, we use odd and even. Now we know that an even number is any number that can divide 2 and 1 without remainder. Now this is an odd number. This is the first row, which is an odd number. The second row is even number. The third row is odd number. The fourth row is even number, and the fifth row is odd number. So what we can do is, if we target the rows, maybe C R, which is the row, we're targeting the row. Let me just give it a unique color first. Maybe give it a light blue background color. Light blue. And save. See what's happening. CR. Now, even this one you're seeing now has the background color of light blue, but TH has overwritten it. So now I've given everything right. But what I want is this one should be, maybe this one should be white. This one should be light blue. This one should be white. This one should be light blue. So what am I going to do? I'll say, okay, let me check. This is an odd number. This first column, first row now is an odd row. This is even. This is odd. This is even. This is odd. So what I'm going to do is on this TR, I'm going to use the pseudo class and say nth child.
Thank you. Sorry,
remember, if I say
sorry,
nth
sorry
child
for
3,
cutting short, Mr. Terry. Thank God, because anytime they call this thing not child, like it icks me. I just want to conk the bed. I don't know why Mr. Skyline calls this not child. I just don't understand.
It's nth child. Nth child, like, yeah, if you are using number, it makes more sense. Nth child, if you have done mathematics very well,
Yeah, that's why it's
mostly
surprising when they call it not child. Where is the O in the NT? I don't. Oh no, that's good.
No, it's
Thank you.
nth child. So the nth child,
Skylar is not a
here
professor
stands
now.
for number. This N here stands for a number. So if you're looking at the third child, if you're looking for the third child, N here stands for a number, maybe first child, second child, third child. So if you're looking for the third child, just leave this N here and put the third child here, for example, and save. So you check, you see now that the third child only 1, 2, 3, because we are dealing with CR. The third CR 1, 2, 3 will have this background color. If we go to the fourth and put 4 here, you notice that only the fourth one, nth child, that's fourth child. That's where this 4 is coming on, because you cannot just come and replace it here. You just put it inside the bracket to replace the N. So fourth child, the child of what? CR. The fourth CR, you have this, and the fifth CR too. Fifth. See, it goes to the last one. Now we can still use even and odd here. Nth child even, nth child odd.
Terence,
yes.
Sorry to interject. Okay, so it counts the nth child now you made reference to. That means it counts from the parent, right?
Yes.
It counts from the parent, right? Not from the children.
It counts the parent. No, even though they are saying child, it's not actually the child. It's
child.
See this thing now. It's counting from this thing. How many of these things?
From the parents.
It's counting from it. How many of them? Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So now, if we say nth child 2, is going to say how the second CR. So if I say this is the second CR, but actually this is the first. Even though it's table head, it's inside the TR. You can see it here. It's inside the TR, but it's table head. Now, if we say n child even, that means it's going to take only the even nth child, n children. So TR is going to take only the even TR. So let me save this and see what happens. So we know already that this first one is odd. I believe all of us should know what is odd number and even number. I just believe so. If somebody doesn't know, then the person should signal me so I will explain better. Now, this is odd, even, odd, even, odd. Is somebody saying something?
No, go ahead, boss.
Okay. Now you can see nth child even. If I had more tables here, more rows here, you still select all the even numbers, all the even rows. Now I can decide to change this to odd. If I say odd, I'm just going to select going to select all the odd children of R. So this first one is the first odd child. This one now will now be the second. This will now be the third. So if I use odd here, odd, and save, see, it's now selecting the odd ones. So I can decide to say maybe CHCR. I have a place for CH. Let me see something. CH. Okay, let me just come here and do height. And actually use height just like any, let me say height of 40 pixels and save. So you can just like any other HTML element, you can give it height, you can give it width, you can give it any other thing. Even on the this ones are TRs, or this is TH. These ones are TDs. You can still come there and get a TD and give it a height of 40 pixels. It's just like any other HTML element. See how our table has flowed now. So even on this nth child now, you can still decide to say for every odd, because this is odd, you are giving it a blue background, you can still give it a text color, that's color of white, just like any other table, you know, just like any other HTML element, you can design it as you know. So this, we are done with this. There's what they call caption. In case you want to give it a caption, you can write it here. Caption, like all we know, or like what we all know, a table caption.
Just like a title.
What?
Just like a title of the
Exactly.
table.
Just like a file description. So you see the caption. It's just like if you don't want to be using all these semantic elements, you can just come out of your table and put a P tag here and write this is our first table design. You understand? But sometimes people just like to use the semantics so that if you see caption, you know it's captioning something. It's just easy for you to easily read your code. It doesn't mean any other thing. You can actually come here and put a P tag. P, and say this is our first table design. Now the difference between this and that is this P tag, you know, P tag normally has a margin top and a margin bottom. So if I remove this one now and save this one now, tag is aligned to the left as default and it has a margin top and margin bottom. But now you will use your own CSS now to redesign it, to bring it to the middle and take it down again. So it's just better, you can just use a caption and remove the P. So this is the first table design we've done, and I don't know if there's any question we have.
Hello, Mr. Terence.
To ask any question before we do another design.
Terence, please, I have a question.
Yes.
Hello. Okay. The styling
you see,
that you use.
I just did text align center, and it worked.
Terence, we can't hear you anymore. Okay.
Sorry, somebody was talking to me.
Okay, no problem.
Ask your question.
Okay, the styling is what I'm confused about. It's like you use internal CSS to style it, isn't it? Okay, so now why do we? Because it's like everything you have in the internal CSS, you have it at the external. So why do we use the external?
Okay.
Because I was
Now,
thinking that the internal doesn't have like all those, external sometimes it's more complex. Use it to style
they're the
more
same thing.
complex.
They're the same
Okay.
thing. The only difference is now if you're working on a big website, maybe you're working on Jumia or Kunga,
Okay.
you have
Okay.
10,000 lines of or more than 10,000 lines of CSS. Are you going to write all the CSS internally? And maybe you
Okay.
have like
Okay.
100,000 lines of HTML. So everything may just
Okay.
be scattered. So it's just good to push them aside, push this one aside. So that when you are coming to HTML, you are getting HTML files. You are going to CSS, you are seeing only CSS.
Okay. So what you're trying to say is that it just depends on the complexity of your project, right? So you know which one to use.
Yes, it makes your code neat. Like if you have a
Okay.
laptop and you have a laptop charger and you want to put them in a bag, most people put the laptop in a laptop place, in maybe a good place for laptop, and the charger they put it in the smaller pocket.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean the laptop and the charger cannot enter in one space,
It's
but
okay.
just for you to organize it so that if you want your laptop to work, you remove your laptop, you remove your laptop, charger
Okay.
remains. If you need your
Okay.
charger, laptop remains. So that's the essence.
Noted.
One major
Noted.
thing.
Noted. Thank you very
Okay.
much.
Any other question?
Okay, yeah. Mr. Torres, I have a question. My question is table only um accessible to the admin? Because from what I can see here,
I didn't hear you.
can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, is table only accessible to admin? Like there is no right property when it comes to the user. Because from this table now, there is nothing. The user can only view, can only read, but cannot.
No, 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 not that, not that. See, it depends on how you are creating it. You can still come to your table now. For example, it depends on how you're creating it. You are the developer. You can come to your table now on this place. You put button click me save, and maybe on this other side now you put in input
Yes, that was
input.
what I wanted to confirm. I wanted to confirm if you can actually use input in the table so that someone can actually write.
You can use anything. It's just a table element like P.
Okay, okay, all right, that's fine. Thank you.
Enter your name. Okay, something like this. It just depends on you're the developer. It depends on what you want to achieve.
Okay,
You understand?
yeah,
Maybe I can say enter your second name here, enter your age,
okay,
and maybe when you enter your age here and you click here, maybe it will pop up and tell you something, or it will send it to the admin. It just depends on your design.
all right, okay, thank you.
Any other thing? No other thing. Then we are going to do a second table here. But I like, you see how we have purple color here, the local purple. It's not always good to just get a different off color like this. It's good to have a faint color of that Rebecca purple. So if I have my Rebecca purple again here, Rebecca purple, and just come here and make it to be a little bit transparent like this. So it's the same color, but just to be transparent. So but everything is purple. It looks better now. So I'm going to create another table down here. I'm not going to create it here, but if I do it here, it's going to, the properties are going to mesh with this one. If I'm designing this, it's going to affect the other table, except I use a class, and I'm not ready to use a class now. Okay, I'm not creating another table, or use the same table, but I'm going to remove all of this CSS.
Okay, sorry. Did you style the caption?
No, I did not style. I did not style the caption. I just wrote caption and left it there. If you want to style it, it's still, you can either give it a class or you just come to your CSS and call caption. Remember, you can call
Okay.
any
You
HTML
didn't style
element.
it, but is text align center. So
Yes, that is by default.
that is by default.
Yes, and it doesn't have the margin top and margin bottom. By default, that's why it's called
my
caption.
mine is not defaulting to center.
What?
Mine
Yours
is
is not
not
at the
defaulting.
center. Did you put it? Did you put it inside the table?
No, I put it on top the table.
Okay, I'm removing it from inside the table now. Let me put it on V. I'll put it on top of the table and save. Now you can see it's out of the table. It's not even a. It's no longer a caption even, because a caption I gave to it here doesn't work. The styling I give to it as caption doesn't even work. Do you understand? Even though it's in the caption tag, but the caption I give to it doesn't even work. It doesn't have that color. But if I put it inside the table, it now becomes the normal caption, which the table will understand. So if I save, it becomes purple. You can see that is purple because I've given it purple here. So this caption, just assume that this caption works only inside the table because you are captioning the table.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to delete all of this CSS. Or better still, let me create another file. I'm going to create table2.html. Enter. I'm going to put my starter, and I'm going to copy these values we have here, including the caption for table. Let me paste it here. Save, and I'm going to open this. Okay, so this is what we have. I'm going to do the basic styling to give it a space, to give spaces and make it a little bit larger. So let me go to my head, the title here as table 2. I'll come to my head and let's just do, I'm doing internal styling so that it's going to be easier for us to learn and see what we are doing. That's why I'm doing internal styling. So let me give for table head and table data, I'm going to give border 2 pixels solid gray. Table head, table data, sorry, T, this is not C, that's why. Okay, and remember, I'm going to do border collapse because I have double border.
You are increasing your pace in this one. Oh.
What?
I say you are increasing your speed in this one.
Yeah, it's just, we have done this before. I just want to come up to speed, then we'll start styling it. Remember, we have done this. I just gave it a border for each of the elements. Remember, CH is the table head and it has a border all round. That's why I gave it this. I can decide to say, okay, border, maybe border bottom. All of them now will have border bottom because I'm doing it for both CH and CD. I hope you understand.
Yes.
Okay, so if I want to just use a border bottom, I can use maybe, let me see if this will actually work. CR save. Okay, this did not work as I thought. But that's for border bottom, but I don't want to give this. using this. Then I can now border collapse it. Border collapse. I've done this before, so I'm just I think there's something I'm omitting.
The width, is it the width? Are you adding width to that?
No, I've not added the width yet.
I don't think there's any other thing you're omitting. If
Is
copy paste
Yeah,
the width.
because the thing has
look at
okay,
this.
it has collapsed.
Is it a table?
Look at this.
It
Yes,
has
table.
collapsed. It
Okay,
has collapsed.
Look at this. Let me remove this collapse.
I thought you wanted to
Now
maybe
we have
try this one differently.
we have, you see, all the borders here are doubled. All are doubled. That's why border collapse will work. If we have this, now all of them are not doubled. So which is going to collapse and which is not going to collapse? So that's what was affecting it. So this with this now border collapse is going to be fine, and I can now say table. Let me give it a width of from same 70%, 70%, and what else? Let me give it height. So remember, this is table row, which is TR. So I just give it height of 40 pixel for TR. So I'm done with my basic styling like this. And what I want us to do now is let's use this. Let's use this as our head. Then values will now flow like this. I think I have to remove these values I have here. Let me remove. I just want to remove everything out.
Okay.
I'll struggle to type them back. Okay. Now I have this. Give me space. I have this. I have this. I have this. And I have this. Okay, I have columns here. Now what I want is I need a table. Let me get a table sample. Okay, something like this. Something like this. Something like this is what I'm looking for. Okay, now you can see the table. These are supposed to be the table head, and the values are flowing this way. So this is what I want. I want the table head to be like this, and the value should be flowing like this. So the first one we have is we are here. We want to do this. The first one we have is this is a table row. We have a table head, right? Table head. Enter, and the value will be, let's just call it what can we call it? What can we call it? Let's call it first name. First name. That's a table head. I'm going to save so that we can just see what's happening here. is how it is. Well, let's not look at it now. It's going to confuse us, but let's understand how it's flowing. This is a table head, which is the first row. First row. Then we are going to have another table head under it, which is going to be the second row, right? Another table head again, which is going to be a third row. So the table heads are in separate rows. They are no longer in the same row like what we had before. If you check what we had before, all the table heads are in the same row because all of them were on a straight line like this. But now we are using this side as our table heads. So for every row, we are going to have a table head as the first element, th. And let me give this one last name. And I'll come here again for another table head. I'll give this h. I'll come here again for another table head because for every row we have table head as the first element before we have other data. As you can see here, all these things are table head. So for every row we have our table head and h. Let me give score, and this last one will be table head. Table head. What can I put here? What can I put here? Table head of gender and save. Now let's see how it looks like. You see how it looks like? Our table head now is coming down.
Vertical.
Coming down. Yeah, vertical. So the next element we are going to have for every table head. Remember, the way HTML does its thing is it arranges them in rows. In rows. So this is first row. Everything you see here inside this first CR will be first row. So if we already have this as the first element, the second one will come here, still inside this row. And the second one will come next to this because everything is in a row. So let's come here and put something. First name will be, let me say, CR is going to be a row. TD, sorry, TD because it's a table data, not table head. TD, let me write my name, parent on here, and save. So you can see how it's now taking shape. Let me get another element here. For the next, which is last name, I'll go down to last name. I'm not adding it here. If I add it here, it's going to come under this because if I add it here, it's going to come next to this because everything is in a row. So first, for the first row, this is it. If I add anything under here, it's going to come next to this around here. So let's get the next element, TD, which is table data. I don't want it to be thick. I don't want it to be a head. So I'm going to have my last name is Mayor, and I'm going to save. Now you can see the way it's flowing. Let me add something up here again, which is what can I add? What can I add? What can I add? Let me add something. Let me just add something. CD. Okay. And save. I've added something so you can see anything you add inside the row comes to the right. But now what we have done is for each row we use one table head as the first element. That's why for each row we have one table head as the first element. For the second row we have one table head. So as I'm filling this element, we are going to be having these borders because don't forget we've already styled it, we've already given it all the element borders. So any elements that comes up will automatically have a border because of what we did before. So let me add this to TD and save, and see it's adding. So for every row, I'll have 2 table data times 2, and let me fill it with something. Doing for score, I can have TV times 2. I'm using times 2 because I know for score I'm going to have 1 here and 1 here. So it's just 2 which I need. Let me save so that this one will come up. I'll have 23 and 45 and save. 23, 45. So it's remaining this gender. So I'm just going to add 2 TD times 2. Why I'm using TD is because I know it's not T head. I don't need it thick. I don't need it to be like a head. So TD, what can I use for gender? Male and female. So depending on what you want to achieve, you see it this way. Now, let's try to design it. We are going to give all of this now a color like the Rebecca blue, because now this is a table head. I'm going to give it a unique color. Like I come to okay, this is table row. I don't want to alter this table row, which I've given it a height. I just want to go make it plain so that we can understand. Now, I need all of this to have a unique color. So table head, remember all of them are table head. That's why they're even bold. I use table head for each row. The first element for each row. So table head, background color, Rebecca blue, Rebecca purple, sorry, and the color of white. And see if I see background color and color has been applied. Now, table data. Remember, every other thing left is table data. Let me just give it a background color of Rebecca purple, and I'll have to make it very faint like we did before. Save. Now you can see every other thing is table data. Don't forget, the only thing we have in a table is table head and table data. Depending on how you arrange your table head, like we did here, for every row, we have table head first for the table data. We have this. So now, let's see how we can make this like what we did for the other table, where we have alternate background colors. Now, what we are going to do for this is, we have, this is a table data and this is table data. Let's see how we can use the nth child to separate it too. So let's see. Let's try first. Nth child of let me use even. Let's see. Now you see what happened. So this is table. This is not table data. This is not table data. So this is the first table data we have on this table. This is table head. So if we say n child of even, it means just the even table data. So this is odd, this is even. If we had another one here, it would have been odd. Sorry. This is even. This is even, and these two are odd. Let me add another one here. I just want to copy this and add it so that it will make more sense. No, not there. I want to add some values under this. I want to have 4 columns. That's why I'm doing this. Okay, and save. Okay, now we have this. I think I've omitted one. That's why I've omitted the first one. So in the same light, we use table data, nth child, even. That's all the even table data. This is odd, even, odd, even. It continues like that if there are more. So all the even table data, we are giving it this property, background color of transparent Rebecca purple, and the caption still remains. We can decide to make this, maybe this Francis now, we just have Francis, where we can decide to make it smaller or bigger. We come to this place, we can decide to make it, we will give it a width, giving an inline style here, width of maybe 200 pixels, and save. You notice that this has now increased to 200 pixels. So we can decide to make this one smaller or make this one bigger, depending on what we want to achieve. Let me give it 100 pixels and save. So you can see we are actually adjusting the size of table depending on what we want to achieve. So I believe with this we can actually do Mr. Skyline's assignment. I don't know if there's any question concerning this.
Yeah, I have question.
Okay, Mr. TJ, go on. After, when you're done, I'll ask mine.
Okay, I'm also a bit confused on your classification of even, because since there is no numbers on this one, so how do you get the classification?
We don't need numbers. Just know if this is the first. This is the first, right?
Yes.
This is the first column. This is the second.
Okay.
This is the third. This is the fourth. First, the first is number 1.
Yes.
Take a break, get some rest.
Number 3, this is number 4.
So okay. Is that okay? Is that how it was? You classified it? Okay.
Even at this point, this is the first one.
These ones I can understand because of the numbers, but the other one, better is understood, right?
The number doesn't even matter.
Okay.
Maybe just for your own understanding, but normally if there's no number, just say the first one is.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Mayor, my question is, just go to your VS Code for this second one now. For this second one.
This one?
Yes. Where you use the nth child. Where you call the nth child this thing. When you're there, let me know, because I'm using mobile, so I don't know if
I'm there.
Okay. So you call TD, which is table data, and use nth child even.
Yeah.
And you gave it that background color. But from what I'm seeing here, that thing started from even the TH to count.
Yeah, it started from TH.
Yeah, so why did it do that? Because you called TD and it started from TH.
That is HTML's own way. Maybe they can say in next version of HTML, maybe HTML6, they can do some modification.
Okay.
But as it is, if you are using column and you use nth child, maybe you are using TD for the nth child, it starts from the first one, which is still TH. You know, every day that we are making amendments, maybe in the next tomorrow we may hear that we remove HTML6 and now this is obsolete, or this is no longer supported.
Thank you.
So I don't know if there's any other question. For now, I'm going to end this recording. And the recording is not rendering as usual. No problem.
That mean does it mean it's not going to?
Recording is not rendering. Hold on, please.